We are 2 days away from this massive update. Welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video, we're going to break down the patch notes preview for the April 6th update that is upcoming. That's going to bring us the school team event and other stuff as well that we are going to touch on in this video. So first things, we are going to have the 100-day celebration. Previously in the roadmap, there is already an announcement for it. We are going to get 10 free pools for 10 days, and we're going to get a total of 100 free pools, which is a lot, to be very honest. However, one thing to take note is that you will have to log in every single day, right? The mail wouldn't be automatically sent to your account and last for multiple days. It's only going to last for 1 day if I'm not wrong, so log in every day and claim it. Claim those free pools. I'm not sure if you can save it. Potentially, I do think you can save those tickets, right? So you could save it for another soul subsequently down the road. Potentially, I'm not too sure, but we have to see how it goes, right? And on top of that, like they mentioned, Lizelotte, the new demon type soul, is making her appearance in this update. I also mentioned about the Angel and Demons banner in a video I recorded a few days ago. So far, I haven't seen much of the changes on it, but I do think that the changes are not that huge. There is some minor nerfs, but I don't think it would affect what I've told you guys in that video. Anyways, there is also going to be new content, and the new content is Battlefront Area 9th that they've already announced previously, but we wasn't sure when it was coming out, right? And in fact, it was coming out, or rather it is going to come out on the 6th of April update, which is good news for people that have been stuck on 18-50 with no content to clear, especially whales, right? And in this update itself, they are going to introduce the 3 Soul Parties team, meaning you are going to have all the elite and boss stages have 3 teams to beat, right? And this is not a best of 3 that, like if you guys are imagining that like something like Champions Arena. No, you have to beat all 3 teams, right, in order to pass the stage. So it's going to be potentially very difficult. However, we would have to see how they adjust the difficulty of these 3 teams, right? If it's as difficult as one of those teams, like every single one of those teams is as difficult as a Chapter 18 elite team itself, I think that is pretty ridiculous. I'm sure a lot of people will be stuck there, especially free-to-play players. So we have to watch and see when it comes out. I will definitely touch on it also. Next also is the correction, or rather the adjustments to the sub-skill rotation for the souls itself, right, that were previously adjusted, and now this souls, namely Jade, Siha, Mika, Erika, Mariam, they're going to appear with their attack pattern fixed, right, or in fact I would say buffed. So this is going to make the enemies a lot stronger, but I'm not sure if this is relating only to Battlefront 19, but I would highly suspect that it is only the case, right? Otherwise, people that are just starting a game today would have trouble beating some of these stages especially. Next is going to be gate breakthrough, as well as the faction gates. As with every new chapter, they have always expanded the number of stages we could clear for both unlimited breakthrough gate as well as the faction gates. So no surprise here, we're going to get 350 stages and also 200 stages for each of those faction gates. Honestly speaking, I think that the faction gates right now, even for someone like me, which is a light spender, I spend probably $60 on the game, I do think it's still quite difficult without hired units. And even with higher units, some of the gates itself is also looking to be quite challenging, especially for my weaker factions, namely the Beast as well as my Undead. I think my Undead faction is the worst because I don't even have a single origin unit. So I'm sure a lot of you that are in the same predicament might find the gates already very difficult, and this might not affect you because you wouldn't have cleared those gates anyway. But for me, I do have all of the gates cleared, so I think it's good after all. And for whales, they probably have everything cleared, so definitely good news for them. Next is going to be the soul release, which is Lizelotte. We are looking forward to it, or rather I am looking forward to it. I'm not sure if you guys are looking forward to it, but I do know some people are very excited about it, and rightfully so, because this is our first demon banner. And honestly, I feel like the demon banner, like I mentioned in my video, is probably a must pull regardless of what kind of account state you are. I would say if you just started the game, then probably if you started like less than 3 days, just reroll for Lizelotte. if you just started like 2 weeks, I would say it's still borderline. I'm not too sure if 2 weeks is good enough to reroll, but I do think that she's going to be potentially extremely strong for a lot of content in the game. And regardless of where you are, at least try to get 1 copy. I think she would be on the effectiveness of Violet for guild rate, if not even stronger. So definitely pick her up. Going to help you a lot in your progression for sure. Also, they have the skill set here, right? And If you guys want to check out more details on the skills, although I would really recommend you go to Pritwin website to see, but do take those numbers with a pinch of salt, because a lot of times they have altered those numbers as well as changed some skills and the tooltips, right, when the units actually release. I'm not a fan of them changing it prior to the like the release of the hero itself or unit itself, because in this patch notes preview they would have already mentioned what kind of a kit they have, right? Although the numbers are not fixed, but in Arky's case they did change the targeting from lowest HP to highest attack. Personally, I thought that was great for me, and a lot of other people agreed as well, but it's still not the right way to do things, I feel. But of course they did have disclaimer, so you can't really fault them, right? They did say their skill specs might change through a future skill balance patch, or that the details of these percentages can be found in game, so you would have to refer to them after they release Lizelotte in the game. So fair game probably, but I still think it's not that nice, although sometimes it's more of a buff than a nerf. Next is going to be the mention of the skill pickup for Lizelotte. Of course it's going to have the 1.6% chance, but there's one thing I want to note here. The Fordle for 250 mileage reward is going to be changed to an extra Lizelotte, so even more reason for you to pull on her banner for at least 300 times, I would say. Going forward to 400, 500 times, the increase in the, or rather the mileage rewards, is going to have a bit of a diminishing return. So really depends on whether you want to make her origin or if you have the ability capacity to make her origin, right? So I'm going to assume also that the rest of the mileage is going to remain exactly the same, which means we are going to guarantee get 5 copies if you were to pull 300 times, and that will translate to almost a legendary plus, right? 1 copy short of legendary plus. And through this system itself, I think the average is that we would probably get 9 copies, right? So I think that that is quite fair. We are 5 copies away from origin, but even if you can't origin her, I think that at L plus or even Eternal, she's going to be very, very strong. And personally, I'm going all in, like all in. I'm going to 0, guys. I currently have like 80k with like 10 free tickets, so I would say I can definitely get 500 pulls if I were to complete the event. I think the event is going to be pretty generous. Again, we are going to get a lot of Everstones, so considering that, I can probably get 500 pulls at the minimum when the event ends. But as usual, I'm going to stream my live pulls, probably 300 pulls first. Who knows, right, how many diamonds or Everstones you are going to get. But I cannot stream it on the night of the release itself, because I would be having to make the video on is Lizelotte worth, right? As usual, for every new banner, I would always make such a video, so I'm going to work on that video. So that night, I probably can't stream it, but potentially there might be changes, so I will see how it goes. Then next, we also have a upcoming pickup banner for Ayame as well, and this would start on April 20th, so 1 week after the end of Lizelotte. And for Ayame itself, TLDR, I don't think she is that worth summoning if you were to talk about just pure like a kit itself, right? However, given the fact that the banner is likely also going to be very value if you talk about a demon unit, potentially the people with a lot more like a disposable Everstones might want to draw on this. But personally, I think after going all in on Lizelotte, I wouldn't have chance to go for Ayame, and I would potentially be saving up for Claudia in June. So that is just my plan for now. I'm not sure how you guys are going to do it. Definitely leave a comment in the comment section below on what you plan to do with your Everstones. Next is the 100 free summons that we mentioned at the top of the patch notes itself, and here they did mention that you have to perform this free summons from the normal summons menu for 10 days. You need to log in to claim it each day, and please note that no free summons will be carried out to the next day. Okay, so upon reading this more, I don't think this is going to be added to your mail itself. They are just going to give you free 11 pulls every day on the normal summon banner, so that means that you can't really save it for others. So I pardon for my mistake, right? I didn't know that it's this case, but do take note that this is the case, so definitely log in and claim your free pulls each day so you can save it. Moving on, we are going to have the Everschool event begin, and of course it's going to begin on April 6th, and it's going to last for 3 weeks until April 26th. So for this period itself, you will be able to gain rewards, but there's of course going to be an extra exchange period for the event after the event is done, right? So this is basically the event duration, and this is a school team event like we've mentioned previously and also reviewed previously in the roadmap. The login and BGM will be changed as usual for every single event, and also there will be an event story, and on top of that there is a event raid boss, if you're not aware, G Memphi, which is a schoolgirl Memphi, and she will be something like Chloe, whereby you would get more rewards based on how much damage you get on the boss itself, you do to the boss. And also on top of that, there is going to be 2 extra event stages, one for Lindsay as well as one for Claire, and both of this is going to reward you with different tokens that are going to correspond to the things that you want to change. So there is going to be different shops for these tokens specific to Claire as well as Lindsay. If you want to get more of the Lindsay stuff, then you have to farm more times of Lindsay. If you want to get more of Claire, you have to farm more times of Claire. I do think they did mention that it's 5 tries per day, so you can split it within the 2 bosses, either Claire as well as Lindsay, up to you, right, depending on what rewards you want to get. So Eversoul daily event login bonus will also begin as usual. We would have various rewards. The last time for the flower event, we did get the 2 eternal chests as well as the free copies for sure, and also their artifacts, right? So potentially we might also get that, and artifact for Lindsay is very valuable. Claire is not as good, but I still think it's free stuff, right? So definitely good if I get free artifact shards. Next is going to be Eden Stationery Special Event Shop. So this is like what I mentioned, right? You can exchange the rewards based on the tokens that you have gotten from both Lindsay as well as Claire. And then there is also going to be a medal exchange machine whereby you can gacha for more of the prizes using the victory rewards that you get from battling Memphi. So here is their art itself. It's the one that has been reviewed previously. Pretty cool, if I'm being honest, and that is about it for this event. And of course you are going to potentially see more of the stuff being reviewed closer to the date, right? And next we have the double rewards boost, and this is the part-time job double rewards, and in fact it's going to last for almost 1 freaking month. This is one of the best double rewards that you can potentially get, because the town progression hinges a lot on this, and not just that, not just town progression, the artifacts, the coins itself that you get, right, is absolutely important. So 1 month of free artifact shards times 2 is insane. Definitely have to min-max the part-time job. I also have a video that I'm going to release tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned to that video on how you can potentially min-max for this event itself. Next, we are going to have the cash shop changes. So for free-to-play players, not too relevant. However, they're going to change some of the packs. Hence, they're going to remove 6 of this pack. So this one, I don't really want to touch on it too much. If you want to look at the new packs, definitely say it when they are being released in the game itself. I'm not too sure about their value, so don't ask me on that as well. I wouldn't really buy all these packs given that I'm super light spender. I just buy Manon pack at this point. Next is going to be the Erika's Alchemy Summons, which is like I've mentioned multiple times, it's just like AFK Arena's the stargazing system. However, it's going to only be unlocked after Battlefront Area 10th. Honestly, doing it any earlier is just going to be a bait. You are going to screw your account over very massively, except on for the like a 10 PT. I do think there's going to be a 10 PT for the first 10 summons, but they didn't really mention it here, but I do think that's the case. So we have to see whether this is really the case. And one summon is going to cost you 400 Everstones, so potentially it's going to cost you 4,000 Everstones for 10 summons, and it's going to be, of course, more expensive than a normal one because it's going to give you a rate of 2%, as well as allowing you to choose who you want to have the rate up on. So this is likely only going to be used on Angel and Demon units, because other than that, I don't see a point in doing that, right? You either just wait for their banner to rerun, or you just try to luck up on that. That's what my recommendation is anyways. And also, they didn't release the table for what other rewards you're going to get, but you are not going to get the same rewards as a normal pool. You're going to get other stuff, potentially epic faction cards. Also, you're going to get the crystal packs and all stuff like that. But exact stuff, we have to wait for them to release the table or release it in game. Then we have to check out the rates itself. I probably will cover a video just on Erika's Alchemy Summons. The PT, right? It's going to be 70 summons, so 28,000 Everstones for you to PT if you really are unlucky, but a lot of times we are going to hit PT, right? So this is just there for your reference. Next is going to be the revisions. Now you can give multiple gifts at once to all. So yeah, we really need this. I have like 20 plus gifts on a lot of those units, right, that I don't really want to give because I have to click 1,000 million times. So this is going to be great, and the guild system is a bit interesting to me. I've taken a look and I do think this is super interesting. Transfer rules are going to be changed. If your guildmaster does not log in for more than 7 days, if you just go on a vacation without internet, then you are not going to be a guildmaster anyway. I'm not sure if I really like it, but of course this is going to be good for those people that are stuck with dead guilds, right? You're a manager for dead guild and you have no way of becoming the guildmaster. This is going to be great if your guildmaster quits. Next is also going to be a guild manager. Not log in for 8 days, guildmaster role will be transferred to the guild member instead with the highest cumulative contribution points. In case of a tie, the guild member who has the most recent login, so whoever is more active is going to be appointed the role. Not sure if I like this, but whatever the case is, this is going to promote less dead guilds, right? So active guilds is always going to have a proper transfer system within themselves anyway, so this automated system probably won't kick in. And also, if no guild member logs in for 7 days, automatically you will be disbanded if there is no single guild member. That's what they meant, right? It's not that just one guild member don't log in, then you'll be disbanded. So this is not the case. And this is about it for all the patch notes. Do let me know in the comment section once again if you are excited for this patch. I'm very excited for Lizelotte, very excited for the release of Chapter 19 because I want to see how strong the units are going to be. And Chapter 19 means that we are one step closer to Chapter 20, where we're going to get Origin Kit 6. And also 100 free summons. No one is going to hate it. And lastly, the school team event, which is a big highlight. I think this is the first time they've made an event so big, right? In fact, it's combining multiple events, so I'm excited to see how people are going to react to it. But personally, I'm going to have faith that it's going to turn out well, but we are going to see subsequently. Also, if you're interested in seeing what my take is on the Angels and Demons banner, definitely check out this video right here. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.